institution and a community that has long been complicit with that erasure and with that silencing. And so, as a survivor, I wanted to take just a moment, to read a passage from an article that I wrote for an advisor.
Afternoon, everybody. My name is Rogier. It's a wonderful pleasure to be here once again, the final installment of the Legacy program. We've been doing this since the end of middle of September, and it's been a wonderful trajectory of just us learning and listening and kind of just digging deeper into the history and the story of religious dissent, or the story of dissent, period, in African American communities and in the larger world that affects African American communities. This is a production of Black Nonbelievers and also of the American Humanistic Association, AHA. And Black Nonbelievers is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are headquartered in the Atlanta area. We connect with other Blacks and allies who are living free of religion and might otherwise be shunned by family and friends in a caring, friendly, and informative environment. Instead of accepting dogma, we determine truth and morality through reason and evidence. We have a mission, which is primarily to provide secular fellowship, to nurture and support non-believers in coming out and openly identifying, to promote pride in atheist or non-religious identity, to organize members in charitable causes, and a variety of events. And we welcome as a group everyone. Black Nonbelievers welcomes all people regardless of age, gender identity, sexual identity, national origin, and or racial identity. Mandisa is not here today. She's out of town, and so it's up to me to do some of the honors. I'm just going to briefly share with you my screen. Here are some links in social media that you can use to follow and subscribe to Black Nonbelievers. We're on Facebook as Black Nonbelievers, Instagram at Black Nonbelievers, Twitter at BNB Nonbelievers, and YouTube as Black Nonbelievers Inc. You can also donate and support Black Nonbelievers at the website, which is blacknonbelievers.org, where you can make recurring contributions. There are options available for whatever you may wish to donate. Those donations go to supporting the organization and for programs just like this. We also have available for those means donations that can be made for Cash App, Foundation. There is an option for a stock transfer at TD Ameritrade or a workplace charitable giving program. Coming up, we have a few things going on. We have the anniversary celebration, which is going to be January 15th through the 17th, and that's going to be in New Orleans. As currently stands, this is on schedule, and there has been vigorous sort of check of the facility and the location where this is going to be, and we're expecting to be able to carry on as planned in New Orleans on this weekend. If you are unable or unwilling to make a trip given the current pandemic status, there will be an option to participate via streaming. also in the corner, you will see that there is a colored fountain, women colored marble fountain, which is going to be happening September 24th through the 25th in Chicago. And there's also the BNC Con, which happens in November. That has been rescheduled due to the this year's cruise has been rescheduled due to the pandemic, but will be shipping out next fall in November of 2021. So these are all some of our highlight or highlighted events that are coming up next year. We're really excited about, especially the 10th anniversary in January in New Orleans. We've been around for 10 years. BNDC has been around for about since 2014. So, but those of you all who are familiar with where we are, we've been around since 2014, and it's a pleasure to be an affiliate of the overall national organization. All right, let's go ahead and make our introductions. Some of you all may remember from the last time we featured Dr. Christopher Cameron in the first series of the Black Non-Believers Student and Legacy program. So I just want to kind of give a proper introduction to him again for anybody who did not who wasn't able to attend. Christopher Cameron is an associate professor of history at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. He's a fellow with the American Council of Learned Societies, founder of the African American Intellectual History Society, and the author of To Plead Our Own Cause.
Yo, what up?
The making of the anti-slavery movement.
How's it going? Dylan, no, this is live. We're actually live right now, bro. So, with that being said, welcome to the motherfucking stream. We about to get into some late night, some early morning art and education. It's 2:30 in the morning where I'm at, yo. $2:30 in the morning. Up at the crack of dawn in the motherfucking studio. Working on some paintings. Why is you up right now? That's my question. Why is you even up right now? Why ain't you sleep? Okay, you on the East Coast too? Okay, back to my question. Why the fuck ain't you sleep right now? What the hell is you doing up, bro? It's 2:38 in the morning. What is you doing? Nigga say, I can't sleep. I'm turning the PlayStation on. Nigga say, I'm bored. And that's what's up. Be bored no longer. Well, you can still be bored. You just get to be bored with me. You know what I'm saying? I woke up. I ain't got shit to do. Come sit in the studio. We can sit here and be bored together.
It's hot. Yeah. Everybody in. Come on, Zena.
Where you at on the East Coast? Oh, it's COVID season, man. Ain't nobody got no sleep schedule no more. Motherfuckers wake up and go to sleep when they feel like it now. You know what I'm saying?
That shit just came out the mouth.
It's really, really hot.
Yeah.
Like boiling hot.
I don't know about boiling, but I almost burned my damn hand touching the cup. It might not be that hot.
That's what's up, bro. My sister live in Florida.
Scat.
It's not too hot. You put sugar in?
Yeah. You can't taste it?
Yeah, taste it.
I did a raspberry, and then there was a single one laying in there. I think it was a strawberry. I don't know. I can't put my finger. I tried to smell it, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was. It might have just been too raspberry. But I didn't want to open any other packs, so. She always runs when you put her on camera too. It's like she knows.
What do you want?
Stop, baby. You gonna make him spill it. Stop.
Let me drop my damn tea. Yeah, you just want a nigga to rub you, that's all. That's all good.
Y'all were gone for too long yesterday. I did it for one baby.
Okay.
She gonna keep looking at me.
You just went outside. I'm not taking you outside. And I ain't got no snacks for you. Move. I don't care how much you lick me. I ain't got no snacks for you. Move.
And you gonna come right to me.
There ain't no snacks in here at all for you.
She's like a kid that had a bad dream and I need to come sleep in mommy and daddy's bed. What? No. I didn't say come here. I said what?
Sit down somewhere. Chill your nerves. Yeah, this is the first time in the stream. Welcome to the studio. Working on some art right now. Trying to get some colors on this one.
Alright, baby, go. Past. And you need your clothes cut. Let me get some towels you got.
Yeah, I got a weed right here.
You just need
I thought I had a tip up here that I didn't use it. You gotta go to my Instagram at Paintings by the Prince. If you got Instagram, go here. You see all my art, yo.
Yeah, baby.
Y'all want to finish listening to that dude, the Asian guy, getting questioned?
Yeah, because now I need to know what he did. I mean, I know what he did, but I need to know what he did. You know what I mean? Like, And then why do you come here from somewhere else and do some dumb shit like that? I was like about leave and go to leave from America and go to Europe and just start wilding out doing some dumb shit. Like, you know what? I came to London and I was tired of people and getting picked on, so I killed this lady over a sandwich. Like, what? You went all the way to London to go to jail, bitch?
Ain't
Okay.
none of your family over here? You just over here by yourself? Like, no.
You don't have anybody you want to call? No.
Nope. You want me to tell your brother or something? Nope. Okay.
He must not deal with his family at all.
Nah, he's like the black sheep. That's why he left and went to Canada. He's like, fuck all y'all, motherfucker. I'm leaving Hong Kong.
Now his parents gonna be like, guess you wish you would have sat your ass down. But yeah, that show is just like, it's not shocking, but like, you know, in America, it's like they're constantly trying to make it look like black people are like the only people that commit crimes, and then you like see this Canadian thing, and it's just straight up all these Asians that came from somewhere else, and like they killed their parents or they did this, they did that.
That's something I noticed too. Like, I ain't see no black. Well, the one black dude they had on there, but he was innocent.
Yeah, and then the black dudes that they hired, but they were still like so they weren't like American black dudes. They were like
Canadian.
Yeah, but even then, remember the one we couldn't even pronounce his last name?
Oh,
He was born
was
somewhere
like,
else. He might have been African. Still black, but he wasn't, you know.
But yeah, you can't go somewhere and just murder motherfuckers, yo.
Yep.
And then this motherfucker, like, his interrogation, that shit just crazy. Like, he really played that shit off. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then
they'd be better off just saying nothing at all the whole time.
But she's
and
like, yo.
They bring them food, hot ass paninis and drinks and shit.
Get their guard down.
I was about to say, but in America, you're not getting all that.
Hell no. And then she pull out all the evidence, like, yo, we got you at the store buying this fucking weapon, bro. And then we set him up and sent a spy out and had you.
I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, me neither.
They could get somebody to set you up so they could get your DNA. Which makes me now say, if we're at the store and somebody's like, can you open something for me?
I'm not touching shit, bitch. I don't know you.
Yeah.
You not.
I have carpal tunnel.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Oh, we got your DNA.
But yeah, I mean, and the one thing too, like, mainly men, but they had quite a couple females on there too. So it's just like, it's not that females don't commit crimes or that Asians don't commit crimes. I just feel like in America they put men and especially black men in a certain spotlight when it comes to like locking them up and shit. So it's just shocking. Like, I'm like, shit, you got females going to jail, like people killed people and they only go to jail for 20 years.
Right here. If you guys are like me and struggle to find a quick, healthy, and affordable meal.
A quick, healthy, and affordable meal?
House was full of friends.
I gotta get some new notebooks. All my notebooks are filled up.
You smoke, Dylan? I heard y'all got some good shit down there in Florida. Rick Ross and them.
Thanks.
Hungry I might have to have a
So, right? I put some things down so that you can see clearly. Sometimes I think when I go over the evidence, that in your shoes, like the adrenaline's pumping and maybe you don't get a chance to absorb it all and understand what's happening. So what I've done is, Rocky, I'll put things up so that you can understand how the investigation built and led up to things. Some of these things are out of chronological order because we went backwards in time, like I told you, right? Because what happened was, of course, do you want to come and see these things? Oh, come on, and make it clear to you, Robbie. Intelligent people want to know what's happening to them.
No, I'm only back there.
Yes, you are. Like, you keep saying you're not, hon, but you are. I know you are. Okay. But anyhow, at the crime scene, this is what we got outside, was this knife here. This knife ultimately was analyzed. Swabs were taken off of there by our forensic identification people, and later that was, it was found that there was male DNA on there. And when we found that, we didn't know who you were yet, but we had this DNA profile. Also, of course, was the hatchet that was outside in the yard. Here it is where it was sitting, and this was probably what caused you the most difficulty right here, because what our investigators did was they looked at this coding here, and this coding told them that this instrument was bought at Canadian Tire. So off they went to Canadian Tire and said, hey, when's the last time you sold this hatchet? And they said, well, right here. Here it is. And not only that, but a hat was sold. That hat right there, a hat similar to that. Anyway, that hat right there was sold, as well as these gloves, similar to these ones. And that was on September the 13th. And of course, we have this person here connected to that purchase. We didn't know who you were yet, but we had this image.
I never got why people smoke despite the drug part. Well, that's the thing with classification, categorization, or naming things. The people in control who have power to write shit down can get to call whatever they want, whatever it is. So, I mean, some people can call marijuana a drug, but it definitely isn't a drug. You know,
It's medical.
it's not a drug. Uh, I would consider a drug to be any substance that is altered from its original natural state. Uh, um, the coca plant is the best example. You go to South America, coca plants just grow natural in the wild. You can take a leaf off a coca plant, a fresh green leaf, chew it up, tuck it in your lip, and like suck the juices out of it, and get the same euphoric feeling as doing a little bit of cocaine, because that's the active ingredient in there, that substance. But a coca plant and a coca leaf is all natural. It's not a drug. It's a plant that just grows like that. If you pick the leaves and you chew them, it makes you feel a certain type of euphoria. Now, if you take that coca plant and the leaves, dry them out, grind them down, put it in ether, and make it go through this whole process to where you have this powder that is, derived from the plant, but you don't find cocaine in nature. It's not a natural substance. You don't just find white cocaine powder in nature. So now you have taken the natural plant and turned it into a drug. And that's the thing. Marijuana just grows like that. It's just a fucking plant. You put a seed in the ground. You ain't got to do shit to it. Let the rainwater fall on it. Let the sun shine on it. It'll grow like a plant. That's all it is. It's not a drug. But why smoke it? Because it's it's not it is the quickest way to receive the euphoric feeling that this particular plant gives you. Now you can eat marijuana and it'll give you an even more intensified sensation, but it takes longer for it to go through your digestive system to hit your bloodstream. Whereas if you inhale it, it attaches to the nodes in your lungs and gives you a feeling almost instantaneously. So that's why people prefer to smoke it over eating it and digesting it.
Edibles have you high all day. You never know how high you're going to be until you eat it.
You're referring to the drug in the leaf. You're just calling it what you know what
I mean, that's cool.
Into a syrup, but that's a drug though. Once again, like carrots and bananas have potassium in it. Can you take potassium pills? Yeah, you take a pill in a capsule form. It's a derivative from the natural substances that occur. So a capsule form of potassium is a drug, but natural potassium in a plant, it's not a drug. It's a part of the chemical makeup of the plant. So THC, what you're saying is the drug part of the marijuana, is just a chemical part of the plant. It shouldn't even be considered a drug. Now, once you try to extract the THC alone and make a wax or shatter or oils out of it, and you try to extract that one element from the plant, now you're making a drug because you're putting it through a process. You know what I'm saying? The citric acids in oranges and lemons and limes, it's not a fucking drug. It's just a part of the fucking plant. Now, can you synthesize that citric acid out of the plant? Yeah, but then you're changing it from the natural state. Anything in this natural state isn't a fucking drug. Nothing is.
I'm curious what your culture is. So where you put it in a syrup? That's interesting. I want to learn something new.
But that's like just making can of butter or anything. Like people have been doing that for years. Have been like extracting
But I was
it.
gonna say, like, if that's his culture, like that's our culture here. Like a majority of people in America smoke or
Just smoke.
drink, and smoking is better than drinking when you look at the studies.
Indian.
I was gonna ask.
That's pretty cool though. I say eating it. If you digest it, it's way more intense. I don't really like eating that shit, yo. I've had edibles before, and it's just too strong for me.
Takes forever to hit, and then you're out somewhere because you're like, oh, it didn't do anything. 2 hours later,
Yeah.
trying to move.
But then at the same time, like smoking is not natural for humans. Period.
So are you here in America or
Yeah, he's in Florida.
Florida? Okay.
But yeah, our lungs are meant to inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Any other kind of smoke is just not natural for the human body. So I can get like why some people say, well, why you smoke it? Where like you say, when you can just eat it, you can seep it into a syrup or grind it and sprinkle it over your food like oregano or whatever, yo. Make it a seasoning.
Yeah, I had a Hindu client before, and he was like very specific about how the marijuana was to be ingested.
Okay, I get it. People use the plant different ways, yo. It's an old ass plant. Motherfuckers
And
known about this shit for thousands
cultural
of years.
differences too.
Exactly.
Like there's little villages in Africa, and they only smoke papers, and then you go to other places, and then they smoke cigars, and then
Yep. I just seen what motherfucker in Jamaica in the weed field. This motherfucker ain't even picked no weed, yo. He got down. He walking through the field, rubbing the buds. Like as he just walked, every plant he'd take it and grip the plant and rub that shit up and rub that shit up. By the time he got down the row of weed plants, his hands were brown, covered with all the pollen and sticky shit. Yo, he just took a knife and scraped that shit off his hands and smoked that shit, yo. It was like straight hashish or something. I don't know, yo. Like his hands
you
were just
imagine
brown
living
with.
there, and that's all you smoke. So then when you go somewhere else, you're like, what is this
What the
bullshit?
fuck is this, man? This crappy ass shit, yo. Motherfucker just growing natural weed outside in the field, yo. Ain't even take the bud itself, just rubbing them shits, yo. I was like, God damn. But people use the plant all different kind of ways, yo. Some motherfuckers that make tea out that shit. Make syrup out that shit. Make butter, honey.
Yeah, people make tea out of everything.
Of you, here you are making the purchase here. You didn't even wait for your receipt. But anyway, you know, it's a computer system, they keep their own receipt. So we had this image, and what we did was we went into the neighborhood, and we just set up surveillance everywhere. And soon enough, one of our very super bright guys said, there he is. And they followed you to the bank, where you used your bank card.
That's what's up.
And then we went into the bank and said, who was that?
That's a weed dynasty.
So now
And that's
we have
probably
Janine.
also why,
We
like,
knew where you,
for somebody like you,
who
you're
you
probably
were.
not really phased by it because you've always seen it.
and so we
To
could
where it's
start
like,
to
I don't have
invest-
anybody who grows in my family or anything, or like none of my older family members smoke or anything. It's the younger generation, so I feel like if you're around it, you know what I mean, your whole entire life is kind of like, okay, it's
Yeah.
just marijuana.
It's goddamn. But what's the marijuana laws in India? Like, is it legal? I know there's this another plant. It looks almost like fucking sugar cane. But you eat that shit or make teas out of that shit, yo, and that shit'll get you fucked up. And they say that plant is illegal over there. And in India, there's these fucking nuts too, yo. They look.
India is so big too.
They look almost like acorns or some shit, yo. But if you eat them shits, they'll get you high as fuck, yo. Okay, his family been doing that shit for 600 years. Recorded.
Oh, with the license, okay. So are there dispensaries like you could just go in and have a medical card and get it, or what? And for religion, you can only make the syrup. That's the only way you can do it. Or is that just for Hinduism?
No, just that's crazy. You can implement the usage of marijuana into religious ceremonies.
Well, like
cool.
the like natives, they use, and like people. I mean, of course, some of the people that live in like tribes, they don't even follow our rules and shit anyway, right? But like the natives, they let them do what's it called, ayahuasca, for their religious ceremonies. And that's the thing, like, I'm good with it. At least with the natives, like, I haven't really heard of anybody really abusing it. You know what I mean? And with that type of stuff messes your stomach up anyway, so you're not doing it just to do it.
They say drug addictions on reservations are bad, yo.
It's the preferred way, but it can be done anyway. Okay, that makes sense. I was just wondering if it was, like, particular to one religion or all religions, or...
Well, I like it. I like the plant. And I really believe in the United States that in my lifetime, yo, we're gonna see the end of marijuana prohibition. This shit is almost over with, yo. Since the fucking 50s, you know what I'm saying? This shit has been long enough. Enough research has been done about the plant. It's not nearly as bad as reefer madness and all the propaganda made the shit out to be. So, and slowly but surely, state by state, are just changing their legislation, and sooner or later, the federal government is just gonna have to acknowledge that, you know, the American population is cool with weed, yo.
That's interesting. So specific moons. So are you do you just follow the moons? Like is this just like something that, you know, was passed down, or do you tie some type of science into it? And like, are you into the stars and astrology and all of that? Like, how deep does it go? And I'm surprised that Florida hasn't made it.
But Florida's been a retirement state for decades now.
I know, but just think about how much money they got. I mean, it's so much tourism.
And that's why they don't need the marijuana market. They feel like they don't need the marijuana market because there is so much tourism down there. And
but that's the thing, like, when I was on the West Coast, like, they, okay, Nevada is, or Las Vegas in particular, is like 75% tourism, if not more. Everything is, you know, bars and this and that. The locals are not going to pay those up prices, so it's like...
But the West Coast...
And I know the West Coast is relaxed.
It's more relaxed. And plus, Florida had major drug problems in the 80s.
With coke and all that other
and
stuff.
So that's why they just nervous to let anything become legal down there. It's old people,
it's
tourism.
My thing. It's like, I get that everything is like state to state and county to county and whatever to whatever. Because like even in Baltimore City, like marijuana is completely decriminalized. Like I could walk down the street smoking, they're not going to say anything. And if I did it here, they're going to lock me the fuck up. But that's what doesn't make any sense. It's like... Well,
decriminalization don't mean you can do that, nah.
Oh, okay.
That's like a beer. Like, beer is legal, but you can't walk down the street drinking a beer.
They decriminalized it, and then for basically... Because you got Baltimore County and Baltimore City, and it's one of those weird things where they're ran complete... I mean, obviously it's county and city, but they're like completely separate. Completely separate. And now in Baltimore City, unless they can... catch you literally trying to distribute the weed and sell it like a scale, pounds and pounds and pounds, they cannot lock you up. They locked the dude up for like having like 2 pounds, and they had to release him and let him go. So they're not, I mean, it's literally like, you call it what you want, but they're not locking people up for it.
I mean, that's
because there's so much crime in Baltimore anyway. They don't have time for that.
For weed shit, yeah.
And then they make a lot of money from the dispensaries. But that's what I'm saying. How come if I have a medical card, I can travel, but then I'm not supposed to be in certain states with it? And then I could be here, and it's legal because doctors say, okay, it's okay for you to have it. But then when I come back here, the government says, oh, well, even though the doctor says you can have it there, you can't have it here.
And that's because it's a federal thing, yo. No matter what the states say, any state can decriminalize it or make it recreational in their state, but it only holds up in that state. And when you cross state lines, some states still follow the federal regulations for that shit. And so the federal authority trumps everything. And that's the weird part. Like, and that's what the federal government is going to have to realize. There's so many states that allow their citizens to do it. You might as well just let the shit go, man. Just let it fucking go. There's 16, 17 states now where it's recreational, where if you're 21 years old, you're good as long as you're not in public.
I think once it moves to 20 or 25 states,
it's going to have to pass.
Yeah,
it's going to be a tipping point. Like you say, it's going to be half of the country. We got 50 states. Once half of, like 26, let's say 25, 27 states make it recreational, the federal government just going to have to acknowledge that shit. Yo, more than half of the country is cool with this shit. Stop it. Stop it. The states who don't want it, let them keep it how they want to do it, yo.
And that's the thing about the South too, like Georgia,
Florida,
South Carolina, North Carolina, they're gonna be the very last.
They're so slow with that shit, yo, because they're conservatives. You know what I'm saying?
But
very conservative.
even going to Virginia, like I think Virginia's chilling a little bit, but Virginia is a really big state, and I wouldn't be surprised.
And that's the thing, yo. Why don't they replace tobacco with it? Because, the thing is, people assume that if you make marijuana legal, then everybody will grow it, and the government won't be able to get their fair share of taxes. When that's not true. Tobacco is legal because most people don't make cigarettes, don't make and package cigarettes with filters and all that shit. Yo, it's just easier to go buy that shit, and Uncle Sam gets his taxes off of it. Now, if they make marijuana legal, how many people are going to grow their own plants? And the government sees no money from that at all. And so they want to roll this out in such a way where Uncle Sam gets his cut. And that's all it is. They just want to make sure that states get tax revenue off of a cash crop. And it's just hard for the transition. If they never legalized it in the beginning and kept marijuana and hemp legal, we would have been had a thriving marijuana market with rules and regulations. But since it's been criminalized for so long, to switch it over and bring it back into the public domain, they just got to roll it out in a way where the government gets their part of it. So, and it's coming. It'll be here because there's, like, we were looking up all kind of products that pertain to marijuana, and even big tobacco companies know that they support marijuana anyway. I mean, companies like this, you make this shit for what? I'm not gonna roll a fucking cigarette in this. I'm not gonna roll tobacco in this. And so companies already know that they're making money, making millions and billions of dollars per year off of the marijuana market without directly selling marijuana.
Just like the herb and spice grinders.
Everything, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can buy these $8, $9. Am I gonna grind up my own basil and oregano in here? Come on, man. So tons of companies are out here making products and paraphernalia pertaining to the marijuana industry, and like I say, only thing is the federal government has to figure out a way to get tax money off the plant itself, and it's just taking a while, but it's coming. No, they don't care about health, yo. They care about the wealth. Fuck your health. Let's see the wealth. Where the money at? Where we gonna get our portion of this shit at? Oh. It's coming. And that's the thing, like, most people lazy as fuck anyway, and that's how they've conditioned us. we all can grow our own tomatoes and Brussels sprouts and cabbage, but do we? No, we don't. You know, and we rather go to the store and buy that shit. And so if marijuana becomes legal, most people won't grow their own shit. They'll just go to the dispensary and buy that shit. You know. And the same thing with beer too. Like, I mean, can my uncle used to brew beer in his fucking garage and make really, really good beer. It was so tasty. But do most people make their own beer? No. They go buy that shit, yo. And so like there's this fear that's not even justified when it comes to the marijuana market. Holy basil. Mm. All right, it's uh, time to get a little bit more painting done. I don't know. We could just make this a whole chill stream. I'll paint later on when I get up. Mm. Damn. We could have did this in the living room, but I like being in the studio. Uh, I'm working on this commission for a friend of mine. It's coming out pretty good so far. Um, I'm always iffy about. So this is actually two pictures. The lady holding the baby. So the baby is a photograph by itself, and the grandma is a photograph by itself. And I had to put both of them together. Um, a high school friend of mine, her grandmother passed before she had her daughter, and so her grandmother never got to see her daughter, yo. But she wanted a picture of her grandmother and her daughter together, even though they never met in real life. And so she sent me a bunch of photos to see if I can combine them. And so I took this picture of grandma. Well, that's the client, and that's her grandmother who passed away. And then I took this picture of her daughter. And so there's grandma and daughter. And then I kind of just put them together like that. So it looks like grandma's holding grandbaby. So it looks pretty good. I like it. And so I'm just working through the process of putting the first layer of paint down. That's messed up.
That's actually really funny.
This is Alexa. Damn.
Damn. Hey yo. Oh my goodness.
Wait, most of my paints are gambling. And then for my bigger paints, I use these Winsor and Newton. No. Oils are the easiest paints to work with, bro. Don't let nobody tell you that shit. Oils are the easiest paints to work with. Trust me. But you already know your problem. You just you just said what the problem is. You can't overwork it, man. You know, you gotta take your time with it. Can't overwork the oils. You gotta work in layers. With that acrylic paint, you can just go so fast with it because it dries so fast. But with oils, since they dry a little bit slower, you just gotta take your time. That's all. It's just a little bit longer dry time. So just get in this. It's all good. Plus, I hate waiting for it to dry. You know how you get away with that? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 paintings going on at the same time. So while that's wet, you work on that one. And while that was wet, you work on this one. And while this one is wet, you work on this one. And then you get this all painted. By the time you get this painted up and you let this dry for a little while, you can be working on that one. And then add a little bit more, and add a little bit more. By the time, now it's back time to work on this one again. Then you put your second layer of paint on here. So it's like the dry time don't really matter if you're working on multiple projects. That's the one thing about oils. Like, and I noticed that with most acrylic painters, they only work on one painting at a time because it dries so fast. But with oil paints, you got time to think about other projects and work on this and, you know what I'm saying, do different things.
Babe.
I feel you. Stop. Move. You want to get out? Bye.
Bye. Bye, Felicia.
Anybody want you in here anyway?
Bye, Felicia. Go. Years from now, you're gonna find a face mask in your jacket and smile, thinking back to how mad 2020 was.
Damn.
Then put it down, grab your sword, and continue fighting the zombies. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, 2020 was so easy.
Oh, I'm not 2030 then.
And there's something about them oils, like how you can just blend that shit, yo. Yo, send me that one about the sword zombies. Mask in the pocket. Oh no, not yet. This one isn't done. It's not completed. But yeah, I varnish all my pieces when they're done. Yeah, everything gotta get protected. Can't have no paint without a layer of protection on that thing.
Need that protection.
Yo, Trippy Lad. What up, fool? What the fuck you doing though? Yo, Happy New Year, bro. Catching these damn night owls out here.
One. This shit is hilarious. It's a dude who posted it too.
When you got pregnant, then you loyal, bitch.
You good. You ain't cheat.
You ain't cheat. You ain't let him come in you.
It's 2021? Oh, you don't got no bodies. You a virgin.
Yeah. Yo, that shit is crazy though. Who the fuck come up with that shit, yo? Oh, damn. Yo, dude made a post. Yo, it says 10 years from now, you're gonna find a face mask in your jacket pocket and smile while thinking back how mad 2020 was. Then put it down, grab your sword, and continue fighting the zombies. Just flipping through the streams. I feel you. Ain't nobody asleep right now, man. It's the witching hour.
The witching hours. The witching.
Man, that shit is stupid,
Yeah. Oh my god. Same time.
What the fuck, yo? Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
Why are we on Facebook looking at the same shit at the same time, yo? This little midget, a half a man.
Oh my god.
And the white girl only got one fucking sock on.
And we're on the same part of the video and everything. Like, how do you get the time exactly the same?
Mm-hmm.
When you gotta take one for the team. I would have been like, if you don't get my foot off your face.
What the fuck kind of socks? Oh my god. Yeah, here's another still frame for my cousin in this movie he was doing, man.
Okay.
Finally, I gotta send him some money to help promote this movie. And my cousin been doing like kickboxing. He been training for a while too, yo. Like training other people, man. But he had a part in like this little action movie somebody put together, yo. Like he got a couple fight scenes in that shit, and they just trying to promote it right now and get money for like I guess the editing process and promotion and trying to get it out somewhere. Yeah, she posts some real good ones too, yo.
Me to me.
Me, I love you. I love you too. All right.
Swear, every time. Well, no, not every time.
Nobody's skinny, man. That's so stupid. Man.
The one that says skinny men cheat so much because they're like little broomsticks that gotta blow to all the yards. I was like, yo.
That's fucked up.
Y'all just be blowing through all the yards.
No. Yo, she got too much evidence on this dude, yo.
Yo, but this is my thing. I get that they want them to make a confession. But at this point, hours ago, you knew this man wasn't about to tell you nothing. So you should have just locked him up and saved your time. I think they like get high off of that shit.
No, because it's if they can't break you in a certain amount of time, they do have to let you go. But in court, it's just easy to get the shit. Oh, he confessed to that shit, yo.
Yeah, but
You know
I mean, and I agree. But with him, obviously, he's not talking about anything to do with the situation. He's not gonna say anything.
Peace out, bro.
Do you regret it? Do you feel sorry?
Look at the numbers though this morning, babe. 444.
Oh damn.
No. You don't regret it, you don't feel sorry. Anyway, those are the notes, but your brother looking, with the police. What Brian just told me is that our investigators just returned from Calgary, and they were talking
Yo, dude about to get caught the
with
fuck
your
up.
brother. What do you call your brother? Toddy?
Yeah.
So does it. Toe? Okay. Well, he obviously cares about you a lot. He agreed to come in and talk with the police. He said it took you a little bit longer to get your degree, but you had to learn English at the same time. So that's sort of understandable.
No, actually, my English is very fine at that time. But it just is, unless you guess, I was got 7.0 points, or otherwise you need to take some, I don't know, EAP course.
He talk fine about anything else, yo. She start asking about that murder. I don't talk about it.
Nobody required.
And he gets frustrated when you play him like he's dumb
What do
too.
you think of this? It's just that your brother has come into,
I'm only dumb sometimes, bitch.
he said that you were born in Hong Kong and you came to Calgary when you were 18. That your mom is a Canadian citizen. And that your sister came to Canada before him. That you finished high school in Hong Kong. It doesn't report that you have any health problems. He said you had a sore shoulder after the crash last year, but it's not lingering. He says you like to stay home and play video games. I guess we've already confirmed that. He said you got along well with your mom. And you didn't have a temper. He says in here
But
that
she's trying to make it out like he bought murder weapons. Like premeditated this fucking murder.
because your mom is out visiting with her now. And so the investigators are heading out to Toronto soon. Anyway, those are the notes, but your brother had a message for you. Do you want to hear it? Listen carefully because this computer's speakers aren't very loud. Yeah, wants you to tell the police the truth. Does that have any impact on you, Rocky?
True. True or false?
Fine, that's like
Yeah.
I have everything to say. I want you to feel better. I want you to do well after this. I don't want this
Why don't
to
you
be
call her
the
right out
only
like
thing
that?
in your life that defines you.
That's what I gotta start doing.
You know what I mean?
She
A
said
lot
it's
of
only
people
$20.
are involved in things that they're horrified by, and they change their lives. It's a line in the sand, and they change their lives, Rock, and you can do that too. This doesn't have to be the only thing that we think of you. Do you understand that? That there's still hope and there's still a chance for you to make something good come out of this?
Dude ain't confessing, yo. I don't think he gonna really say he
Your
did.
family's watching what you do to take them forward. Your grandmother's watching what you do here forward. Come on, Rocky, you've got to do the right thing. I don't understand how this is difficult. It's very simple. It's very easy, actually. There is only one right thing to do.
I have nothing to say.
I have nothing to say.
So, Rocky, one more time then. Why is your DNA on this knife outside the house where these people were killed? Can I have an explanation for that?
I have nothing to say.
Motherfucking stone.
Rocky, I want you to notice that there's an image of you here at the Canadian Tire, and you are buying a hatchet, a pair of gloves, and a hat. The hatchet and the hat are at the house, the exact same make and model as you bought, and the same hat that you bought, same brand, same logo, same everything, is at the house where those people were killed. Do you have an explanation for that?
I have nothing to say.
This is the very hat rack where you chose that hat from, where you tried it on. Put your forehead on the brim of it. All of this analysis is yet to be done.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I'm sure you don't, love. I'm sure you don't. That's the easy way out.
I'm just changing phrase. I have nothing to say.
Fine. So, can you explain why that hat, that is the same type of hat that you bought 2 weeks before this incident, is under the table with Mr. Jones' blood on it? The dead man's blood on it?
On the iPoppy
Do you
video.
have an
Yes, after
explanation?
him smashes Joe. Like, dumbass. Your bitter baby mama saw it and reported his ass.
Do you have an explanation for this, Rocky?
You're not giving up no
You were
explanation.
over there mowing their
Oh,
lawn,
Rocky, Rambo, Wade.
and all
whatever
your
the rest of
things
his
were
name
left
is.
behind after you did some gardening. Were you there at that house? Do you have an explanation for this hat?
This motherfucker brought a knife and a hatchet.
Rocky,
Left
do
all
you
that
have an
shit on the
explanation
scene.
for the hat?
With his DNA evidence on it. This motherfucker like, I don't got nothing to say.
Do you have an explanation for the hat, Rocky? It was found on the kitchen table with Mr. Jones' blood on it.
And then you can't even see you put up a fight because you, as some
And
old
when they
people,
see the
you're
writing on the
people too.
wall and they know the jig is up,
The jig is up. Yo, she said the jig is up, yo.
I want to see what makes him take his glasses off.
this is the car that belongs to Mrs. Ma Jones. This is the car that was driven around the neighborhood and rifled through, and then Headlights came on. Just lit everything up beautifully for our video camera. Do you have any explanation for why your image might be on that video? Oh, nice, eh?
I just don't want to repeat. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say.
It says they put a sheet up and it says the Trenches store. Yo.
This is an image of Mr. Jones earlier.
Yeah, I seen that. They had that shit on what you call it, yo.
The Trenches store.
But that shit hot though. And they the one dude come out with the blue stripes. You got one. They got
It's creative.
Yeah, that joint right there with the blue stripes on it.
It's just the ghetto ass the trench store for me. State prisoner. Watch that be a fashion line.
And you got some sweats. They got the blue on the sweat.
But that's the thing. Why he get in trouble if he wasn't the one recording? He ain't have the phone.
The hoodie, yo. Motherfuckers just trying to be creative in that shit, yo.
Okay, yeah, now I'm mad because
Just trying to be creative. They put on their own fashion.
he wasn't the one with the phone. Somebody else had the phone recording him. That's like
But they goes,
that's like
it's
if
his
you.
phone and he telling somebody else to hold that shit. Oh, that's what.
Oh, I can't hear the audio.
That's what somebody gonna say. Like, yo, that was his phone. Yo, I was just the camera guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
If
who
the
got the phone
audio,
in here, you
I was
know
gonna
what
say
I'm
if the audio says it.
Yeah, who got caught with the phone?
Shopthetrenches.co. Oh shit. Oh yeah. He got somebody on the outside.
Thought not.
We got all kind of shit.
Oh, yes, how are
It
you?
kind of is similar to the True Religion symbol though. So that's the only
What's that
thing.
mean? How are you?
How are you? Just skinny range. Sorry.
How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm
He did
50.
that shit with marker and it looked good.
Why do you want to know?
Just wondering. How long have you been in this place for?
Motherfucker had the COVID mask before
That's
COVID.
hot.
That shit right there, yo.
It is long, isn't it?
It's fashion,
I'm
yo.
going to tell you how
And he
long
sold
it is,
that.
Rocky.
He
It's
took
been
one of
a
them white
very
shirts
long time when
and probably
somebody
one of them
is
old
faced with
sweaters and
something
stitched that shit
like
together.
this, that someone opts
Look at
to sit coldly and offer no apology, no remorse, no.
That shit was hot.
If I say, what? You're gonna release me?
No, it isn't about that. Don't you understand that after all this conversation, you're not being released. No matter what.
I know.
You've killed 2 people, man. You're not going anywhere. This isn't about being released. This is about helping other people. But you don't care about that. That's all I've been talking about all night, is you helping other people. You've done enough to hurt other people, that's for sure. But you're just sitting there coldly. I don't have anything to say. I don't really give a shit.
You're not me.
No, I certainly am not. Because you know the difference? I have empathy for other people, and I care
No,
about
you're
it.
not being charged for murder.
I didn't kill anybody either. That's the difference, man. How do you sit there coldly? I don't understand it, because it doesn't seem to be the person that your brother describes.
He has this. This motherfucker is smart enough to know something.
Dog socks.
She won't like that shit, yo. He's smart enough to know enough, cause this motherfucker will talk about anything. His school, his job. He even talked a little bit about his family. When she started talking about this murder, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. And this motherfucker, she's accusing him of killing 2 people. This motherfucker won't say, I didn't murder anybody, I didn't kill anybody. He won't say he didn't do it, but he won't say he did it either, yo. That motherfucker is not giving in, yo. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. We got a picture of you buying this hatchet in this hat. And this hatchet in this hat is at the murder scene. What do you think about that? I ain't got nothing to say. Well, your brother said it was kind of hard for you to get your degree because you had to learn English at the same time. It wasn't hard for me to do that. What it was is you had to know a certain amount of English and this, and but I got my degree. But he'd talk, like I said, talk about anything else. I wish I was home playing video games and shit like that, but this motherfucker gonna say he didn't do that shit, yo.
Facts.
I'm telling you, Rocky, I've been in this room tons of times with tons of people, and with people who've done worse things than you.
And then it's crazy, yo. Like his parents are weird as shit. They named this motherfucker Rocky Rambo. And he already said like the kids can be cruel. She was like, "Is that your real name?" He was like, "Yeah, kids can be mean." You know what I'm saying? Just growing up with a name like that, Rocky Rambo. Come on, man. How much you love Sylvester Stallone to name your child Rocky Rambo?
And not only is his name Rocky Rambo, it's Rocky Rambo.
And then he got the Asian name
Yeah.
after that, Wen Young Wade some other shit.
Yeah,
It's
Wade
like,
something something. It's like 3 other names.
I was like, what the hell?
You want something? Hot pocket? Waffle?
Oh, I probably could be good.
Okay. The one that's in the freezer, right?
Yeah.
And when they see the writing on the wall and they know the jig is up,
You
I'm
see that
caught,
door, right?
I'm done. There's DNA, there's video, there's every kind of evidence that there is. They finally do the right thing. They always do the right thing, almost without exception. You, sir, are an exception. In the face of all of this, you're choosing to stay back, not help anybody. And you sit there and you pretend I don't understand something, but you won't tell me what it is I don't understand. So that's kind of passive-aggressive or something. I don't really understand what you're doing. Playing games is what I think. You just playing games, Rocky? Is that what it is? Like this whole thing seems like a big game to you. You're laughing all the way through the interview. You're in the face of incredible amounts of gore and harm that you've caused, and you don't even seem to take it seriously. You just giggling away there.
Because that's not love.
Oh, I don't know what it is. You're sure not explaining it. We're just left with what we see. And it's not an empathetic person.
Yeah.
It's not normal for you to be so cold. I don't get it. I want you to tell me the truth, Rocky. That's all. It's easy. It's simple. It makes sense.
You're not getting no confession out of this motherfucker, yo.
Taking this chance to at least express remorse. Maybe today you're not ready to talk about the whole of this story, but at least say you're sorry. For what? You're an animal.
No 啥，對咩唔住？殺咗人對唔住啫，黐狗線。
Yeah. Yo, Juice. Yeah, they ain't getting no confession out of this motherfucker, yo.
Rocky, Lawrence.
Hi.
This is Lawrence Bowie. He's with the Forensic Identification Unit, Rocky. So you were asking earlier about the process. So what's going to happen now is that they're going to take some photographs of some of the marks on your body, and they're going to take your clothing and document all of that before they send you to jail. Okay, so they're going to do that across the room where there's no audio or video recording so that you can have some privacy there. But you will be under audio recording over there.
And do I have the right to do that?
No. No, we're gathering evidence and you're under arrest for murder ×2. So no, you don't have a lot of leeway at this time, that's for sure. Okay? Are we all set to go over? Come on, Rocky.
Okay, right.
Back you guys if you can.
About that,
You
can I
got
go
it.
to the washroom?
You can go to the washroom beforehand. Yep.
Rocky, whose shoes are those you're wearing?
Mine.
Rocky's just gonna use the washroom for a second.
Jeffrey Dahmer was never put in handcuffs. I didn't know that. He did? Well, Dahmer didn't. That's the one who really didn't commit the murders. He just kind of like had his little squad kill people. But all right, this case of Rocky Rambo Ying Wang Jin or whatever his name is, yo. Apparently he killed 2 people, yo, 2 like elderly people, and the detective or the investigator right there, she never like divulged the ages of the victims, and she never said what they thought his motivation for the killings were. She just put the evidence out there and is like, bro, we have you on camera buying a hat and a hatchet at this place, and this same hat and this hatchet is at the murder scene. You have scratches on your body, and we're taking nail clippings from the deceased, and we're going to get your DNA from underneath their nails where they scratched you, and we have you driving in their car, and this dude never broke his like, I don't have anything to say. I got nothing to say. And he seemed like a normal, regular dude, but this motherfucker, apparently he done chopped 2 people the fuck up with a hatchet. But now it's like, once again, man, people think, oh, it's gonna be in the future where we're all surveyed and cameras and all this. It's now. It's almost impossible to do anything and not be on camera, bro. That's why I don't know how these fucking Amazon workers be trying to scam people, put the package down, take a picture of it, pick the package up and take it back. Like motherfuckers got cameras on their front porches, on their doorbells, on their houses, businesses, street lamps, stop signs, cross lights, yo, cameras everywhere, yo. You can't do shit no more, yo. I mean, you can do shit. You gotta be quick. You gotta have a foolproof plan. But if you don't really plot and plan some shit out all the way to the T, man, your ass gonna get caught sooner or later. Rodney King was caught on camera. Everything will be caught on camera. They say the revolution will not be televised. But damn, dude did not give in, yo. Police interrogation video part 3 of 3. Police in Vancouver, Canada interrogate Rocky Rambo Wee Nam Kam. Yes, his parents really did name him Rocky Rambo. For the double murder of a Vancouver couple, Diana Ma Jones, 65, and Richard Jones, 68. The Jones were found dead in their home on September 27, 2017. Police arrested and interrogated Rocky Rambo Wee Nam Kam, 25, over 9 hours on November 6, 2017. September, October. That's 2 months later. This is part 3 of a 3-part investigation and features the strange ending of the interrogation. We later learned that he admitted he randomly killed the couple, but his defense is that his mental state was impaired by a video game addiction. A verdict in his case is expected in April 2020. I want to see what the outcome was. So this is from June 11th, 2020. Kam pled not guilty in connection with the death of respected couple therapist. The question before Justice Laura Giroux was not whether Kam killed Ma Jones, but whether it was planned and deliberate. Yo, this shit is crazy, yo. Yo, they said this motherfucker Kam slashed Jones more than 100 times and cut Ma Jones' throat, then ate a peach and drank some milk from the couple's fridge before leaving their home. Oh, well, that right there didn't give the sentence either, yo.
This case is not about who did it. Rocky Rambo Wee Nam Kam, now 27, has admitted he killed 2 strangers. The question is, was it murder, planned and deliberate? If Crown has not proven the requisite for murder, then there could only be a conviction of manslaughter, says defense counsel Glenn Orris. When Cam went on a shopping trip at Canadian Tire and purchased a hatchet, gloves, and other items, it could possibly show planning, but there's no evidence showing any deliberation, Orris concluded. Cam had been consumed by violent video games for much of his life. Defense says Cam thought he was in a video game when he slashed Richard Jones more than 100 times and cut the throat of Diana Ma Jones in the couple's home in September 2017. The accused ate a peach and drank some milk before he fled.
The fact of the matter is, Rocky, you can see that the evidence is overwhelming. It is overwhelming that you planned this.
During the trial, Dr. Edward Shen, a clinical psychologist, testified perhaps Cam was operating in a game consciousness.
But at least say you're sorry. For what? You're an animal.
Cam's not unable. He's unwilling to reveal a motive, says Crown Counsel Daniel Mulligan, adding Cam had a deliberate plan to inflict pain and kill at least one person. Mr. Cam is not a credible witness. He's a demonstrated liar, says Mulligan, adding that he's not suffering from a video gaming disorder. Mr. Cam never testified he thought he was in a game during the killings. Crown told the court the crimes were premeditated. Cam bought the weapons he hid before both attacks and deliberately dumped evidence. Crown says Dr. Shen's opinions should be given little weight because of the inconsistencies in Cam's evidence. Crown is expected to finish its closing arguments Wednesday. Romina Dea, Global News.
Yo, that's crazy.
For us along the
Yeah, but during the interrogation, he didn't confess. He must be got with the lawyer and all them shits. It's like, bruh, you might as well go ahead and give it up. Nigga, you going down.
There's a little microphone. Tonight on the Fifth Estate, an unprecedented moment in Canadian crime and justice as it took place. It is seen by people who know what happens in the mind of a killer.
Well, yeah, Russell, I appreciate you coming in.
Yo, all these cases are in California. I mean, in Canada.
Especially down Belleville Way.
What are you doing?
It started with the police interrogator's version
Go
of
sit
small
down.
talk.
Oh, you're not getting no
Fast forwarding things that you might normally take time with.
The only reason she followed me up there.
We're here on a Sunday afternoon. So, again, I appreciate it.
I'm quite sure at that point, it's in everybody's mind. He's not walking out of that door free that night.
For a while, there was denial.
Have you ever visited Marie-France Como ever?
You wasn't around to see me like this, man.
All right. So you're quite positive there'll be no reason why your DNA would be in any of those 3 locations.
Now what he's doing is trying to figure out an explanation to give this guy. Because he knows, man, I am screwed. I am so screwed.
It would come down to the 2 men in the room, the commanding officer and the detective.
Your vehicle drove up beside of Jessica Lloyd's house.
His boots don't really
Your boots
hot, but
walked to the back of Jessica Lloyd's house on the evening of the 28th and 29th of January. You want discretion. We need to have some honesty, okay? Because this is getting under control really fast. So, okay, really, really fast.
He was taught to be a commander. He was taught to be a leader. He was taught to segment, take the emotion away, put it there.
But Colonel Russell Williams was about to learn that he was no longer the one in charge.
Listen, you know there's only one option. What other option is there?
What's the option?
You want the cold-blooded psychopath option.
He's looking at him. He knows he's just dropped the first bomb. This is the beginning of the end.
On this special commercial-free edition of the Fifth Estate, inside the interrogation room.
There's a huge search still underway, and it'll continue. It'll continue until her body's found. even happen tonight for all I know.
They be
We got you.
getting
Now,
them
pony
good.
up, buddy. Now's time to man up on this thing. Quit acting like a little girl and tell me what happened.
Yes.
He look like he ain't gonna tell either.
Not done.
Tell me, Russ.
Russ, I ain't telling you shit, bitch.
I'm ready, Russ.
There's something different.
Is there anything you want me to explain? Is there something missing that you're struggling with that I can shed some light on for you?
And finally, his determination pays off.
I don't think I'm gonna faint this time, guys. We just came up here to chill with y'all for a little while, smoke some weed and shit, have some snacks. I'll probably go back to sleep for a couple hours, and come back in here and do some painting later on. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
I'm concerned that they're tearing apart my wife's brand new house.
So am I. But if nobody tells them what's there and what's not, they don't have any choice.
Watch how Jim Smith now is in lockstep with Williams, each mirroring the other's gestures.
What am I doing, Russ? I put my best foot forward here for you, but
I just spoke that blood. It just hit me. So.
You going to bedroom?
I really have. I don't know what else to do to make you understand the impact of what's happening here.
I was gonna come be a lovely
Did we
co-host,
talk?
but.
I understand. Okay. Turn that shit off.
I'm
Alright, guys, we out here, yo. My girl's taking sleep.
minimize the impact on my wife.
Peace.
So do I.